In a galaxy where strength defined survival, fear was a rare currency, especially among royalty. Princess Valera, Etherean Empire had never known it. From the moment she was born, she had been surrounded by power. Her people commanded star systems, crushed rebellions, and expanded their dominion across the Orion Arm with calculated precision. Entire civilizations bowed before them, not out of respect, but inevitability. War to Valera was not chaos, it was order. Predictable, measurable, winnable. Until the day her father spoke a name and hesitated. Humanity, Emperor Kael'thar said, his voice low, almost reluctant. Valera tilted her head. A primitive species, is it not? That, her father replied slowly, is what makes them dangerous. She almost laughed. Dangerous? A species barely unified on their own planet? A civilization still entangled in internal conflict? It was absurd. And yet the War Council chamber, filled with generals who had annihilated empires, remained silent. No one challenged the emperor. No one volunteered to lead an attack. That was the first crack in her understanding. Prepare the fleet, Valera said, rising from her seat. If they are truly dangerous, we will see it for ourselves. Her father's gaze hardened. You will do no such thing. Why? She pressed. We are the strongest force in this sector. What could they possibly— Enough. The word cut through the chamber like a blade. Valera had never heard that tone from him before. There are battles we choose, Kael'thar said quietly, and there are battles we avoid. And humans are one we avoid? She challenged. Her father didn't answer immediately. Instead, he looked at the stars beyond the chamber's vast window, toward a small, unremarkable system that should have meant nothing. They do not fight like we do, he finally said. Valera frowned. Then they will lose. Kael'thar closed his eyes for a brief moment. That, he whispered, is what others thought. Curiosity is a dangerous thing, especially for those who have never faced its consequences. Valera could not let it go. Weeks later, against her father's direct command, she ordered a covert mission. Not an invasion, she was not reckless, but an observation. A single stealth vessel. No weapons engagement, no contact, just a glimpse of the species her empire feared. She stood on the command deck as the ship slipped into the Sol system, her eyes fixed on the blue planet ahead. Earth. It looked peaceful. Too peaceful. Scans? She asked. Minimal orbital defenses, no significant fleet presence detected. Valera smirked. So this is the great threat. But something felt off. The silence. Not emptiness. Silence. As if something was watching. Expand the scan range, she ordered. The sensors pushed further into the void. And then— Princess, the officer's voice trembled. You need to see this. The display shifted. First, it showed nothing but darkness. Then, slowly, shapes emerged. Ships. Hundreds. No, thousands. Hidden beyond standard detection ranges, cloaked in ways that defied conventional technology. Valera's confidence faltered for the first time. Identify them. The officer hesitated. We can't. What do you mean you can't? They don't match any known design. Different energy signatures, different structures. It's as if— he swallowed— as if they all come from different civilizations. Valera stepped closer to the screen. Each vessel was unique. Some were massive, bearing the scars of ancient battles. Others were sleek, advanced beyond anything the Zetherians had encountered. And all of them were positioned around Earth, protecting it, or waiting. Impossible, she whispered. Why would so many species gather here? No one answered, because no one knew. The answer came sooner than expected. Unidentified vessel, a voice echoed through our comms. Calm. Human. You've been observing long enough. It's time we talk. Valera stiffened. They detected us. Instantly, the officer replied. The voice continued, almost patient. You're not the first to come quietly, but staying quiet doesn't change what happens next. Valera hesitated for only a moment. Open a channel, she said. The screen flickered, and there he was, a human. Unremarkable at first glance, no armor, no visible enhancements, just a man in what appeared to be a simple command room. Yet something about him was wrong. Not physically, but in the way he looked at her. Not with fear, not with hostility, but with understanding. Princess Valera, he said, I was wondering when you'd arrive. Her breath caught. You know who I am? He gave a small nod. We try to keep track of potential problems. She straightened. You assume we are a problem. The human smiled faintly. Not yet. The implication hung in the air. Who are you? She demanded. There was a pause. Then he answered. My name is Elias Varn. Something shifted in the room. Even through the screen, Valera felt it. A weight. Her officer whispered behind her. Princess, I've heard that name. From where? She asked. The officer's voice dropped to a near whisper. From survivors. Valera turned back to the human, Elias. You're the one they fear, she said slowly. Elias didn't deny it. They fear what they don't understand, he replied. And what are you? He considered the question, then said something that sent a chill through her entire being. I'm what's left. Valera didn't understand. Not fully, not until Elias showed her. Come, he said, if you really want answers. Against every instinct, she agreed. Her vessel was escorted, not attacked, through the silent fleet. As they passed the ships, Valera saw the markings more clearly. Different empires, different species, all of them, once powerful. What happened to them? She asked. Elias's voice came through the calms. They came to conquer Earth. And failed? He shook his head. They survived. The answer made no sense. Then why are they here? Because they learned. Her mind raced through the possibilities. And Melinda? The answer came sooner than expected. Come, he said, if you really want answers. Against every instinct, she agreed. Her vessel was escorted, not attacked, through the silent fleet. As they passed the ships, Valera saw the markings more clearly. Different empires, different species, all of them, once powerful. What happened to them? She asked. Elias's voice came through the calms. They came to conquer Earth. And failed? He shook his head. They survived. The answer made no sense. Then why are they here? Because they learned. Her mind raced through the possibilities. And Melinda. Talk to them, as Kael'thar thought of the fleet orbiting Earth. Not as strong, but more dangerous. Analyze what that meant. Back in the Zetherian Empire, deeply considered the possibility of their interaction. Finally, just touched on the idea of next-gen technology. When Valera returned to her empire, she was not the same. The War Council gathered once more. Her father watched her carefully. You've seen it. Yes, she said. And? Valera took a slow breath. They are not the strongest species in the galaxy. A murmur spread through the chamber. Kael'thar's eyes narrowed. But, she met his gaze, they are the most dangerous. Silence fell. No empire attacks Earth, Valera continued, her voice steady, because those who try either lose everything or become something else. And the human, one general asked, the one called Elias. For the first time in her life, Valera felt fear. Not him, she said quietly. If we ever face them, she shook her head. Pray he isn't there. In the vast silence of space, Earth remained untouched. Not because it was hidden, not because it was weak, but because the galaxy had learned a simple truth. There is only one thing more dangerous than a powerful enemy, an enemy that refuses to lose. And humanity never did.